Play-Doh.
Play-Doh?
Yeah.
Oh.
4 to 5 shots.
So I'm just heading out to get some time lapses. Kind of use a combination, excuse me, of the DSLR, the GoPro and the iPhone. Although the best results always tend to come from the iPhone.
Remember that time when Twinkle attacked that big thing?
So you tell everybody what we let Twinkle do today?
Go outside.
Yeah. And is she going outside or has she just gone back in again?
She went back in again, but then we let her back in.
And he's not very happy about it.
Walter. No, something smaller.
Oh, is it another cat?
Should I go and see?
Maybe it's Kit's cat. So this is how I get your time lapses. They take hours to do properly. Only got some shorter ones today. Question from Adrian was on Twitter. Asked me how I do my time lapses. Honestly, this is by far the best time lapse one. Do a little bit of stuff in Final Cut afterwards to try and blend it, colour match it and things. But yeah, the iPhone 7 Plus is just an amazing camera. I wanted to talk today about giving young musicians a chance to perform in public. And I don't just mean like concerts for student bands, which are very, very important. But I'm talking about those ones who are good players who have a chance to become maybe musicians themselves, or at least play to a good standard. And I was thinking about it today because I was thinking about how I was given opportunities to perform. The first one was by a guy called Bill Barrow, who was he was a solicitor by day but sax player by night, and good standard, still works as a professional musician around Blackpool and the surrounding area. And it was with his band, various different things. We used to play at this thing called Tram Sunday in Fleetwood. Hopefully I've found a picture for you by now, which is here. And it's like a transport festival that used to take place in Fleetwood every year. And that's where I first got the opportunity to perform with adults. And there was a difference performing with adults than there was performing with people of my own age, especially people like Bill, who was of a really good standard, kind of lifted you up. I also remember vividly getting opportunities to sit next to Andy Cahoon, who was a Scottish alto player based around Blackpool. I think he's still alive, I hope he is. And Andy was a bit kind of like the guy out of Whiplash to me.
Not quite my tempo. It's all good, no worries. Here we go.
But not as bad, but not far off. He gave me a hard time a lot of the time. And in later years when I went to talk to him about, just kind of went back, he told me he gave me a hard time because he realised I was coasting and he realised that I had more ability than the others. And yeah, I was just kind of getting by on it, and he was so true. He was so right. Maybe a bit more old school in the way he went about it, but yeah, I needed a kick up the backside then. What struck me about Andy's playing was his articulation. I remember being about 15, I think we were playing for a Tory party conference, because we used to do a lot of the political party conferences when they came to Blackpool. And I remember just hearing Andy's articulation over a night in Tunisia and just kind of being blown away at the way he was articulating that line versus the way I was normally playing it, and the way my friend Simon would play it as well. But what I remember most, and what I was thinking about today, was the first time I got paid for a gig. And that again was back with Bill. I was in year 11 in school, so I was 15, and he'd taken me along to play at Blackpool Rugby Club. They just started jazz nights, and I sat out the first set and came in and played on the second set, and basically played the whole second set. I remember doing Summertime and a few other standards that I knew and something else, and then at the end of the night getting paid £20 for it, which is quite a good wage for jazz in Blackpool. I did get a little bit more as it went along, and I've earned a lot more money on gigs since, sometimes with jazz, maybe not much more. But I do vividly remember the first time getting handed some money and kind of thinking, wow, I have just been paid to do something I love. And that was like a light bulb moment for me. I remember Ray Wilkes half jokingly with me, whether he was or not, sort of saying, hey, you'll be on stage with me when you're 16, 17. Never did get on stage with Ray when I was 16, 17, but I did get Ray on stage with me when I was 22, 23, when I had a series of gigs at the Villa and Ray came and played with me. So we did get to play together, which I'm very, very pleased about, and we did get to play at Ray's 80th birthday, which was in 2008. Because of the opportunities that were afforded to me, I've always been very keen to afford young musicians who are passionate about it, who are willing to do the work, the chance to perform with my group. So a number of my students, so hopefully the photographs are flying in now, have had the opportunity to sit in and play, including Matthew, who first sat in with me when he was about 13, 14, and then here's a video clip of Matthew playing with me last year in Cambridge. And so I've never been scared to let players who can play to come and have that opportunity, because all these great players, people like Charlie Parker, I mean, there's that famous story which is told in Whiplash of Joe Jones, not Philly Joe Jones, Joe Jones, the drummer. You know, he says in the film he didn't throw it, he threw it on the floor next to him because Bird was playing body and soul, I think, in the wrong key. And then Bird went away and practiced. Well, Bird actually gave up playing for 3 months, then came back and practiced. And, you know, that was the story in the film. And there is a little bit, when you're just playing with people your own age, you can coast along the top a little bit. When you get the chance to perform with adults, it's a whole different level. It's a whole different ball game, and it's a really, really good experience. And I've often said that I'm so, so grateful to those older musicians. People like Bill and Andy, Ray, my music teacher John Bowen, but particularly those older pros in Blackpool, because a lot of these guys, they came to Blackpool in the 50s and 60s when there was a lot of work for musicians. It was kind of the hub because of the holiday season. And then it isn't anymore. So a lot of the guys kind of in the generations between those, you know, I started learning with Ray when Ray was 60, I was 10. And a lot of the good players in the middle just had to leave, as I've had to do, really, in order to kind of carve out a career, because there's not the playing opportunities and the other musicians around to be able to move the music the way you want to go. And so there was this big dearth. Now, there are still some very, very good musicians in Blackpool within that generation, don't get me wrong, but there was this great set of players who were out playing 5-6 nights a week who, yeah, were just fantastic. And fantastic musicians taught me a lot about music, but taught me a lot about being a musician. So taught me a lot about etiquette in terms of when you show up on time, what you should wear, how you conduct yourself on the bandstand, how you conduct yourself around other musicians, you know, for things which I'm going to talk about a different vlog, but kind of like not nicking other people's gigs, you know, kind of working together with people. And that's kind of been concreted in by the top players that I've been fortunate to sort of be mentored by, like Branford Marsalis, who, you know, is kind of like, whilst younger than people like Ray and Bill, has kind of had that experience at the very, very top, because he's been kind of with Art Blakey and Herbie Hancock and those kind of people. He's had that direct link. And then if you think of the link that Blakey and Herbie Hancock have got to people like Miles. So like a musical education has tended to be passed down from teacher to student or mentor to student, or by just older professionals to younger professionals. And younger professionals need to have that respect for older professionals. But older professionals need to realise that they have a great duty to inspire the younger generation to get up and play and give them the opportunities to do it. That's why I've always been so keen to allow younger musicians, if they're good enough, to get up there and play. And a little bit like throwing them in the deep end and seeing if they swim. Some of them don't. And, you know, I don't want to cause lasting damage, but for some of them I go, okay, maybe thinking about playing jazz isn't your bag. If you're a regular vlog watcher, you'll know that I am on my today 110th day of consecutive practice. But I've got to admit, today has been a drag to get it done. I'm giving you guys excuses and I tell you lot off for this, but yeah, I'm just kind of finding it difficult to just get the motivation to practice at the moment. I'm going to do it. I've kind of been asking myself questions, am I doing the right thing just to get a tick in a box? Is that the right motivation for practice? And there's nothing wrong with getting the tick in the box, I suppose, but I kind of want to be reaching beyond that. And maybe because I've been doing this thing now, it's making me think I need to do more in-depth practice and set aside more better time for it. But anyway, I'm just going to pop my soprano together, run through a couple of tunes. I've got a gig tomorrow night in Cambridge, So I just want to run through some of the tunes I want to do on soprano tomorrow night. Basically, I haven't touched soprano for about a week, so. So that's it for today's vlog. If you are able to give a young musician a chance, please do so. If you are a young musician yourself, please make sure you respect the older musicians and take advantage of the opportunities when they get given to you. One of my students pictured on those earlier pictures, Rob has just had offers from Royal Academy of Music, Royal Northern and the Royal College. He's taken the Royal Northern option, and you know, that's great. I mean, I hope I've set him on that path onto doing different things, but giving opportunities when they're right to young players is really, really important. Give them a taste of the action and then see what comes out the other side of it. So any questions, or if you've got stuff for the Q&A, which I will do next time, and I promise I will put this up against my link next week, promise. Really exciting video coming up in the next few weeks. I'm going to Leipzig to play in the church that Bach was the organist. I'm going to retrace the steps of my great-grandmother's first husband, who was killed almost 100 years ago to the day, when I'll be filming in France. So lots of exciting stuff coming up, doing lots of research for those videos. That'll be a different video, it won't be a vlog. I'll do vlogs around that, but this will be a separate video, which I hope will be very special and also enlightening as well. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget, if you don't already, please do subscribe. It makes a huge difference to what I can offer you as a YouTube creator by the number of subscribers I have. So please do subscribe if you can. It also means you get notified when there's a new video out. But just being a subscriber really sort of is a little sort of helpful tip for me. And if you haven't already seen this one, make sure you give it a little watch now.